Zangpo, and welcome to Dawai Kudroen. Honorable Health Secretary Nima Wangdi is my guest tonight. Sir, thank you so much for your time, sir. We have had a very rich discussion or conversation during Zonka sessions. So maybe to pick up on your career, sir. You have had a wonderful career for last 37 years, and now you are nearing superannuation. So how would you sum up your career?
So I think firstly I would like to thank you, Dawa, for giving me this opportunity. And why I say thank you is it gives me the opportunity to thank Their Majesties and the government for giving me this opportunity to serve the Tawasum for the last so many years. And it also gives me the opportunity to thank all the people with whom I have worked, both my bosses and the people, the colleagues with whom I have worked, for the support that they have given me during my career. And also, I think during my career, it is also possible that I may have offended some people, whether it is colleagues or whether it is in the public. So I would like to ask their forgiveness and understanding if there's any such cases. I think on my career, of course, I've worked. The longest period that I worked was in the education, where I joined as a training officer, and then after I became director, I was transferred to Minister of Finance in 1998, and then in finance I moved from Department of Revenue and Customs to the then Department of Aid and Debt Management, and then I was lucky with the blessing of Their Majesties and the government to be sent on a deputation or secondment to the Asian Development Bank in Manila, and then came back as the Joint Secretary in the Ministry of Finance.
Yes.
And then finally as the health. I had, to be frank, I had never hoped that I would reach at this level of the Secretary to the government. I would have been, the highest I expected was as maybe a Director General level. But I think for whatever reasons, I think I'm grateful that I have been given the opportunity to serve at the pinnacle of the civil service as Secretary to the government.
So why you didn't expect them? Because people know you as one honest civil servant, one honest, not just honest, but you were believed to be a civil servant who works with integrity. Of course, there are many, but why do you think you didn't? Why you didn't think that you'd reach the level where you have reached today?
I think there are only 10 positions as secretaries to the government. Of course, there are other positions, secretaries in the various commissions.
Yes.
But I think so it is very competitive, and I think basically my own character is that I was never ambitious, you could say that.
Yes.
So I think probably that has got to do with my expectations. I think if your expectations are not too high, then you will also not be disappointed.
Yes. Was it because maybe one of the reasons could be that you were not too vocal, and you are not?
Vocal in a sense, I think you could say it yes and no. I think you have to be vocal where it is required, I think.
Yes.
And unnecessary vocal, I think, is not, I would not advise.
Yes.
But I think where you have to share your views, I think you have to share. So you could say it vocal or yes, not so vocal, or vocal, depending on the situation, I think.
So when you were seeking forgiveness from your colleagues or people you worked with, it makes me wonder that a person of your nature would you even have landed up hurting anyone in your career span?
I think I was mostly involved in administration, so you cannot say yes to everybody. So that's the issue. You cannot, if you say yes to everybody, then I don't think you would be doing your job. So I think there will be people where you, just by saying no, you would have hurt their feelings, cut down on their expectations and hopes.
But that's because you have been sticking to the rule book, right?
Yes.
So would you regret then?
No, I would not regret, but I would ask the people who would be hurt to bear with me.
So one thing that I've noticed is talking to some of the retired senior government officials, while in service they've been enjoying certain privileges, and now when you retire you will not be availing those privileges. And I've been told by some retired senior officials that while on the other side of the fence life is becoming quite different and difficult. Are you getting a little apprehensive about your retired life?
Actually, I have been expecting for retirement. I have been preparing mentally for retirement, so I hope it will not affect. I have met people who says that after retirement, then you must plan everything, your day from morning till evening, and from day to day you must have things to keep active, to keep yourself active. So I've been receiving all sorts of advices on how you should prepare for retirement, and I think mentally I have been preparing. But still, I think no matter how much you prepare, I think it will probably psychologically affect you when I finally have to take off my patang and kamne and go with ordinary kamne. So probably it might affect, but I have been preparing mentally.
What would be your immediate plans?
My immediate plan is, I think, just relax. I've got a grandson who is very active, so I expect he will keep me busy at home.
Apart from that, would you like to believe that you would contribute in any other ways?
Contribution, I think if I'm asked to participate in any event, probably I might participate, or in meetings or things like that I might, but otherwise I don't have any plans for a long-term engagements. I don't have any plans for that.
Yes. Politics is one option that you can consider.
I think politics is, people have said, politics is maybe possible now. You're 60 and election rules allows you to participate in the next election, but I've always said I'm not interested in politics. I think in politics, firstly, you have to be able to communicate with the public. You have to be outgoing person, I think. So all these characters which I think I don't have. So I think that is out of question.
But learning or having this kind of characteristics may not be very difficult. You learn along the way. There will be so many masters and teachers who will be teaching you all this.
I think some of these characteristics, outgoing and engagement with the public, I think that you cannot learn. I think some of these characters it has to be inborn.
So then, should we believe that you'll never become a politician?
No, that I can say that straight away, without having any second thoughts.
But you would still believe that there'll be parties and individuals coming to you requesting your participation?
As I said, I think those who know me will not come, because I think, as I said, those who know me and those who know my character, I think they will not approach me.
So today when you look back, you had a very long career, and while you passed through with different positions and different portfolios in the system, are you one of those leaders in departments or ministries who was willing enough to impart whatever knowledge that you have gained through all these years of service?
The only knowledge which I could maybe say I might have is, I think through this long service, working at various levels, my main strength would be knowing the government policies, and
Yes.
I think that is important in what we do in every day. So that is important thing. Otherwise, I cannot profess to say that I have got any specific skills or any specific. I'm not an expert in any area. I think most of the time what I have done is applied my common sense only in my
Yes.
career. So there's not much actually I can. I have to share expertise in.
So, but whatever you have learned, whatever knowledge you had, you have knowledge in education, you have knowledge in health, you have knowledge in finance, whatever you have learned so far, were your subordinates privileged enough to learn from you? Because there are some leaders, there's some superiors who may not necessarily want to share or impart knowledge that they have with their juniors or with their colleagues, because they have that fear or feeling that I share this knowledge, he might overtake me. This kind of apprehensions.
I think if it is apprehension on my part, I never had that.
Yes.
I think as a senior colleague or as a head of the department or thing, I think your job will be to bring along the people working with you.
Yes.
Share whatever little knowledge or thing that you have with your colleagues, and not be apprehensive about being taken over and things like that. I think that has never been
Yes.
apprehension which I had.
Yes. I have heard that from some of the individuals who worked with you, they told me that you are one individual who will not be bothered by the kind of superiors or kind of bosses that you work with. You may be a director, you may be a secretary, or you may be a joint director, whoever and whatever positions you held, any minister, any secretary who came along, you will not be bothered, but you will just be sticking to the job that you are given. Is it true, sir?
When you said not bothered, I think that has got
Different
connotations.
Yes.
So I'm not very sure what is your connotation, but I think when you're holding a position, I think your job is to do your duty, whatever
Yes.
responsibility you are given in. And when you are doing where it is required, you have to consult your bosses.
Yes.
You cannot take unilateral decisions. I think you have to take your bosses on board. It is also your job to keep your bosses informed and consulted wherever it's necessary. So that is important. I think you have to have a good working relationship with your bosses and your colleagues and the people, your juniors. So I think that is important.
But is it true that you never wanted to play the role of a sycophant to your boss, to please him for any gains or whatever gains you aimed for?
I think that I can say I never went into such. These things never passed through my mind. So, yeah, that would be true, I think. But at the same time, it doesn't mean that you have to. You have to have good relations with your boss. It doesn't mean that you have to go out of your way or break rules or things to go to please the boss. You have to do your job. You have to follow the government policies and procedures, and at the same time you have to work together with your boss.
Yes.
And as I said, with your colleagues and with the people in the office.
But maybe for you it worked, and because of that you reached the highest level in our bureaucracy. But would it be the same with any other civil servants? I was told by some senior civil servants who are not, who have not gained the positions that you have gained. They told me that it's quite important for individuals to be a sycophant, to please the boss, so that your needs are taken care. Otherwise, stick to the rule book, and you are not really gaining ultimately.
I don't think that's correct. I think when you want something, when you aspire to do something, and you are not able to get what you want, then I think there's every possibility of going in your mind, or maybe because I did not do this for the boss, or maybe because of this or that. But I don't think such a situation is there in the country at present.
Yes.
That the bosses have to be pleased to get what you want, or the boss to go out of your way to please your bosses, so that you can get what you want, whether it is promotions or thing. But I think what people say is that because somebody is they think that the boss is favoring certain persons or things because he's able to convince the boss. But what is important is for everybody to display their capability by speaking at the right time, sharing what you know in the various forums that people participate, and then that is where the civil servants will get picked up. I mean, when it is a meeting within the ministry or the department, maybe it is the interministerial meetings. So people should speak up, share what they know, and I think it is in these forums people get noticed. You have to get noticed.
Yes.
Because even if you have got a master's and PhD and you keep all the knowledge to yourself, I think you're not going to get noticed. And if you don't get noticed, then you don't progress, I think. So that is my feeling. You have to speak up in the whatever forums that you participate in, so that of course when you speak up, then either it is if you speak up and what you say doesn't make that much sense, then again it has got both negative and positive. But people should not feel afraid to speak up.
So, but sometimes when you speak up and when you try to get yourself noticed in public forums or meetings in any department or ministries, sometimes while you try to get yourself noticed or while speaking up with the best of intentions, it sometimes backfires even with the best of intentions. So you think this will improve?
I think you're misinterpreting now. You should not speak up to get noticed.
Even with the best of intentions for the system.
You should speak up if you have a point of view in the meetings. And I don't think any senior colleagues or bosses will hold it against the individual to have a different point of view from the boss. So I think that is a misunderstanding. I think that if you talk something, you should be a yes man, otherwise you will not progress. I think that's a misnomer. You have to speak. You have to have good arguments. You have to have your arguments properly. And your research and all things properly done.
Do you see this happening, this developing?
I think it is developing slowly.
Yes.
So I always encourage people to give their views. Sometimes the boss might have to prod certain individuals if they are not speaking up, prod them for their views. So I think the bosses will also have a role in getting some of the people to speak out their views.
Yes. So what kind of, to get a little personal, what kind of family life you had? Because normally while in office, you have never been a vocal person. We hardly noticed what you do even by staying in media. And sometimes while you were in the finance ministry, you came on BBS programs maybe a couple of times. But apart from that, we have never had much interactions. Are you same as an individual? Are you same even when it comes to your family life? Your wife and children must be getting bored. If you remain the same.
Well, you could say I am the same probably at home also.
Your wife and children, do they complain?
No, I have got no complaints. I think we have got a family which we live together. I got 2 daughters and we all live together. Now we have a grandson, so of course sometimes there might be arguments in the family, but no, I think we have no problem.
Yes. So 37 years of service to Tsawasum, and during this 37 years of your service to Tsawasum, you have had different experience, you have had different positions in the service, and you have experienced all kinds of situations, and you have experienced worked in different systems within the country and even outside. Your last word to the civil servants who are going to follow you. Of course, I've seen so many positive attributes about you on Facebook, along with your picture posted by some of your fans.
I think you were talking about retirement. Facebook is something which I quite recently started using. I thought that is a way of getting to be kept in the picture on what is going on.
Yes.
So that was in preparation of the retirement.
Yes.
For the civil servants, as I said earlier, I think our civil servants have to speak their mind in whatever forums they are participating, and what comes in, be a little bit more imaginative. I think it is important to be imaginative. I tell some of my colleagues, whatever issues comes in front of you, try to be a little bit more imaginative. Don't block your mind that this is not possible or this cannot be done. I think there's always solutions to whatever problems come up. So if you are a bit imaginative and be committed, I think commitment and imaginative should come together. I think this, and then you must be able to talk your mind, express your views in whatever forums you participate.
Honorable Secretary, thank you so much for your time, and also I'd like to thank you for all these words of inspiration for the civil servants who are going to follow your steps. So we wish you all the best and wish you a very happy retired life from the service. Thank you, sir.
Yes, thank you.
With this, we come to the end of Dawai Kudroen. Thank you so much for watching. Tashdele and good night.